Good morning, my name is Maxim Skonotops and today I will be presenting my research on the purpose of life, specifically how this concept has evolved across major cultural eras and what it means for us today. Imagine you were born in medieval Europe. Your purpose in life would have already been decided for you. Just serve the gods, obey the king, and hope for salvation. Now imagine you are born today, in 2026. You open social media and are immediately confronted with thousands of competing voices telling you what your purpose should be. Hustle culture, minimalism, spirituality, or self-care. The question is no longer what is the purpose of life, but rather who gets to decide it. This is the central tension my research explores. My hypothesis is as follows. The purpose of life is not a universal fixed truth. It is a concept that has been historically constructed, and today each individual has both the capacity and the right to create their own meaning. The aims of this research are threefold. First, to trace how the idea of purpose has shifted across cultural eras. Second, to analyze survey data on what gives people meaning today. And third, to argue that imposing a single purpose on others is neither justified nor effective. My methodology combines historical and philosophical analysis with quantitative data from the Pew Research Center's 2021 study and the World Happiness Report of 2025, as well as concepts from cultural theory, specifically the progression from premodernism through modernism, postmodernism to metamodernism. For most of human history, purpose was not a personal question. It was answered collectively by religion. Aristotle proposed that life's purpose was eudaimonia, flourishing through virtue. In Christianity, it was salvation for serving God. In Buddhism and Confucianism, it was tied to spiritual liberation and social duty, respectively. What all these systems had in common was the purpose was inherited, not chosen. It was given from above by gods, sacred texts, or social hierarchies. The Enlightenment brought a radical shift. Science replaced divine authority, and purpose became linked to progress, rationality, and individual rights. It has been argued by thinkers such as Kant and Darwin that through reason and education humanity could build a better world. However, modernism also had a darker side. 2 world wars, the atomic bomb demonstrated that so-called rational progress could lead to devastating consequences, which in turn set the stage for the next era. Postmodernism emerged as a direct reaction to modernism's failures. As later famously argued, all grand narratives should be viewed with suspicion. Postmodern thinkers maintained that truth is always shaped by power, culture, and language. While this was intellectually liberating, it challenged colonialism, patriarchy, and rigid norms. It also created a problem. If nothing has inherent meaning, then what is the point? This led to what many scholars describe as a meaning crisis, widespread cynicism and existential emptiness. This brings us to the present. The term metamodernism was introduced by Vermeulen and van den Akker in 2010 to describe our current cultural moment, an oscillation between modernist sincerity and postmodern irony, which they call informed naivety. In simpler terms, our generation understands the postmodern critique. We know that grand narratives can be dangerous and the truth is complicated. Yet, despite this, we still yearn for meaning. We still want to believe in something, even while acknowledging that our beliefs are imperfect. Metamodernism does not prescribe a single purpose. Rather, it creates space for individuals to construct their own meaning, sincerely, but with awareness. As can be seen from this table, each era offered a fundamentally different answer to the same question. What is significant is that this progression is not merely chronological. Elements of all these worldviews can be seen nowadays in this world and in our society today. Now let us turn to the empirical evidence. According to a 2021 Pew Research study of approximately 19,000 adults across 17 advanced economies, family was identified as the number one source of meaning in 14 out of 17 countries, followed by career, material well-being, and friends. Notably, what people find meaningful shifts significantly with age. Younger adults prioritize friends and education, while older adults emphasize health and material security. Furthermore, a 2024 Harvard report found that 58% of young adults had experienced little or no sense of purpose in the previous month. Meanwhile, the World Happiness Report of 2025 indicated that although global well-being has improved overall, it has actually declined among young people in Western Europe, North America, and Australia. This presents a striking paradox. The generation with the most freedom to choose their own purpose is struggling the most to find it. This paradox reinforces my central argument. When purpose is imposed externally, it may produce compliance, but it rarely produces genuine fulfillment. The data suggests that meaning is most deeply felt when it emerges from personal relationships, chosen activities, and individual values. As Viktor Frankl argued, we are fundamentally meaning-seeking beings, but this meaning must be authored by the individual, not dictated from above. To conclude, I have traced the evolution of life's purpose from the divine command through rational progress into skeptical rejection, and finally into conscious, self-created meaning. Both the philosophical analysis and the empirical data support my hypothesis that purpose is individually constructed and should not be imposed by others. The purpose of life is not something we discover like a hidden treasure. It is something we build day by day, brick by brick, through our relationships, our choices, and our willingness to engage sincerely with a complex world. Even when we know our answers will always remain imperfect. And I would like to leave you with a powerful quote by Friedrich Nietzsche. He who has a why to live can bear almost anyhow. Thank you for your attention.